What's up, guys? Welcome to the HELLRAISER Chronicles. This is something that I literally just thought about like within the last hour because the new movie's coming out. I did the trailer reaction. Highly impressed for a franchise that, let's face it, is not that good at all, which is interesting because it has probably the most iconic killer ever, you know, in Pinhead. So I thought, you know what? I've already reviewed all the movies, so these aren't going to be reviews. This is going to be just me watching a movie, and then I'll tell you at the end of the movie what I thought, because I'm going to do a ranking of this entire franchise after the movie comes out, but I don't remember. Like, I'd say at least, maybe even like 75% of these movies. So I don't want, it wouldn't be a fair ranking because I don't really remember them that well, so I figured I'll go ahead and watch them. And the way I will, Levi, quit scratching. And the way I will, I guess, rank it numerically, because most of these movies are either 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. So I'll do it like a quarter. So like it could be 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Out of 5. So it'll help me kind of gauge where each one of these movies falls, because the first movie is easily the best, and I'm really curious to see where this new movie is going to fall. Okay, and I'm not going to do these in order. Even though I'm doing Hellbound right now, but I just did a rewatch for the first Hellraiser not too long ago. So there's no need for me to chronicle that one since I recently just did it. Okay, and you can probably guess where the first one's going to fall anyway when I do the ranking. So also, while I got you here, just crack this open. This is the Arrow release over in the UK. Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3. That's the one I'm watching right now, as a matter of fact. But yeah, very nice release. Very nice release. I love Arrow anyway. I have a Lament configuration right here. My buddy Matt Register made this with a 3D printer. This is not something you can buy, but look at this. It actually, look at that. You opened the box, we came. Lastly, you can't find this anywhere. This is a complete collection up to, I can't remember, what's that one that's like, it looks like the discount Walmart Pinhead. Is it Revelations? I think this one goes up to Revelations. But a friend of mine on Blu-ray.com made this for me. Years ago, before I even started YouTube, probably like a decade ago. But if I open this up, look at that. And it's like, he made custom labels, everything. He even says like Shout Factory on there, even though this is, this is just a custom job. But I mean, really nice to have, right? Look at that, pretty crazy. So anyway, yeah, I'm doing Hellbound right now. Don't remember the movie too much. I might have saw it in the theater. I don't remember. But after I'm done, I'll give you my quick thoughts again. And if you want to go back and watch all my reviews, I'll put probably a card here somewhere so you can check those out. But the suffering's gonna begin, okay? The suffering begins right now. So I'll see you guys at the end of Hellbound. The Hellbound is definitely as graphic, if not more graphic, than the first movie. I will say that about it. And it's not an easy watch for some people. Like, this is for pure horror fans. Okay, this isn't a good date movie. All right, but this scene right here, I love the plot of Hellraiser. How they bring people from hell back via blood. And so here is Julia coming back. She uses this mental patient. Beautifully shot stuff, though. Beautifully shot. I believe Clive Barker directed this one, the second one as well. I'll have to double check, but I think he did. Wow, insane stuff. So I wanted to make a note of this. There's a few different plot lines going on in Hellbound. It feels like a bigger movie, because you have Kirsty here wanting to find her father in hell. You have Tiffany, who is kind of used to open the box. And then you have Julia here, who's got her own thing going, It's just like 3 different things going on at once. And I know they wanted Kirsty's father, played by Andrew G. Robinson, to be in the movie, but he vehemently said that he would not return for Hellraiser Hellbound. So they had to rework the script. This is a very dark movie too. Just like visually, it's
as far as like the color palette, there's not, you know, it's not a very vibrant movie, you know, which might be one of my issues with the movie, like maybe the muted tones. I like that there's this moment with Frank in this movie, because Frank, I think, was a highly underrated character in the first movie, probably the most important with Julia. But you know, Pinhead, of course, gets all the credit because of how cool he looks. But you know, you can see this is Frank's torture in hell. He has to be tempted for all of eternity with, you know, these naked women. And every time he reaches for one, I think they disappear, something like that. But yeah, really interesting. Having a good time with this, guys. Having a really good time, though. I think we've got like maybe half an hour left, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, but there's a lot about this movie I didn't remember, and I'm quite enjoying it, actually. So anyway, continuing. Now, I must say, I do dig this scene between, I think that's a doctor, I don't know, but he has like a fight with Pinhead and the Cenobites. And when the Cenobites die, you see who their earthly possession was, I guess. You know, their human form. And one of them's like a child, you know. One of them was like this really beautiful woman. But, you know, also this one explores Pinhead's background, how he became Pinhead. So, yeah, I think maybe they had 2 movies worth of material in this one. And that's why it kind of feels bloated. And there's so much going on, but man, I mean, practical effects wise, look at that stuff. Pretty crazy. You know, this is the heyday of practical effects back in the 80s. You know, they didn't have CGI, so I think this was probably the most creative time in cinema, at least for horror. You know, because a lot of these horror giants like Rick Baker and Rob Bottin, Tom Savini, of course. You know, this is why this was their heyday, because this was when they had the opportunity to be the most creative.
All right, so we are at the end of Hellraiser Hellbound. I'm glad I gave this another watch. This one was fun. It's a really ambitious movie. Like I said, I feel like there's potentially 2, maybe 3. I'd say about 2 movies worth of material in this movie. It's just a classic case of maybe having too much material, you know, and or maybe, you know, when you first write a script, you have so many ideas and you think it's one movie worth, but by the time you start filming it, you have all these ideas, and it gets a little frustrating, I guess. You know, I would imagine behind the scenes there might have been some stressful days on this set. I'm just guessing. Also, Tony Randall directed this. I was wrong. Clive Barker did not. It just feels like Clive Barker had a heavy hand in this movie. I like the story. I don't think this had the emotional core that the first movie had. You know, maybe that's because the first movie was a bit more simple in structure, you know, with the plot. Whereas this one had so many things going on that kind of removes a lot of the emotion, you know. It's just more visually dazzling. But like you could take all the core characters from the first movie, like Kirsty, like Julia. They just don't feel as emotionally engaging in this movie as they did in the first movie. Even Julia kind of goes out with a whimper, which, you know, she was like a force at the beginning of the movie. I get a little frustrated with this movie, but I have to praise it for just the creativity that went into it. You can tell that there was a lot of ambition in this movie. You know, a lot of love. It's on the screen. So I'm definitely going to give this one probably a 3.75 out of 5. I'm not going to go with my normal rating system just because these numbers are going to help me rank these movies by the end. So 3.75 out of 5 is what I'm going for with Hellbound. And I think tomorrow we'll do Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth. You know, it's just going to go by how I feel. I feel like I'm going to do this one next. So don't be surprised, though, if I jump forward and do maybe one of the later movies after this one. Who knows, okay? Just going by how I feel, all right? So, anyway, guys, Hellraiser Chronicles. See you guys on the next one, on the flip flap.